Greetings. Thank you for joining us on the Female Solution Global Radio TV show. I'm Naima Latif, and today we'll be joining Zhana live from London as we talk about success strategies with Zhana, and her exciting guest is going to talk about raising money for businesses. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to tune in. You don't want to miss this. We'll be right back in a moment. Stay with us. And
your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio. Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing. Share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talent, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadek. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, grand rising. Greetings, everybody. Happy New Year. And welcome to the Success Strategy Show with me, Zhana, on the Female Solution Worldwide Radio and TV Network. I am the author of Success Strategies for Black People, and I host the annual Blogging Carnival for Nonviolence. And I am your host for today, and on the first Saturday of every month. Here on the Success Strategy Show, every month we seek to help you and support you to find solutions to your problems. We're very solutions-oriented. We're here to help you make 2023 your best year yet. If you have questions or comments, please phone in on 515 And if you press 1, then you'll be able to speak. You'll be in the host queue, which is my queue for this show. If you're outside of the United States, you need to put 001 in front of that. So it's 001 515 605 9325, and then press 1. Today my guest is Stacey Wilkinson, who's one of the business coaches I interviewed in my new Kindle ebook, Affirmations for Business. If you want to raise finance for your business, Stacey is the one you need to talk to. Stacey is an expert on raising finance and funding for your business. So I'm just going to check and see if she's in the studio. Yeah, just give us a second. I've been a bit technologically challenged today, which I have to say is not that unusual, but hopefully that won't be the case. I think I've got Stacey on the line now. Let's have a look. Let's have a listen. Here we go. Hi, Stacey. Is that you?
Hi, I'm here. Good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, where everybody is. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Yeah, it's lovely to hear your voice. I've not spoken with you before. So,
I'm sorry?
Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. I'm so excited about this.
Great. How's things in New York?
Very cold.
Very cold. Isn't it?
Yeah, very cold, but we're used to it. We're New Yorkers. We're tough.
Yeah, I know. You know that's my hometown, right?
Yeah, you were telling me. Wow. Okay, so we tough it out. All the seasons, we just go with the flow,
Excellent. I'm just sending you the StreamYard link. You're going to join us on StreamYard. It's up to you. If you join us on StreamYard, we can see your face on YouTube. So it's your choice. But I've just dropped the link. I would have dropped it earlier, but as usual, I'm a little bit technologically challenged. I don't really understand.
Me too. Believe me. Me too.
Yes. I'm not the only one.
No, me too. If you want to send me the link, you can send it to me. Okay. Okay, you sent it to my email, or you sent it to
email, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me see.
So you should have it. So if you want to join us on StreamYard, that would be lovely. But anyway, thanks so much for coming on the show and hear all about your work. Stacey, as I've just been saying, is an expert on raising finance for your business. I know you want that. Every business owner out there right now listening to this wants that, right? We all want to raise finance for our businesses. So what Stacey's doing is really, really important. So if you've got any questions or comments for Stacey, please give us a bell. Welcome to the show. And I've got a few questions I'm going to ask you about your business, first of all.
Sure.
It's a new year. What plans do you have for your business in 2023?
Well, I have a lot of plans, I have several businesses, but mostly for my coaching business. I definitely want to expand. I'm going back on the radio. I'm a part of a radio show called The Gallery, and I'm also going to be launching my own podcast centered around business. So that's
really wonderful. What's your podcast going to be called?
I think it's going to be called Miss Stacey's View, meaning my view about everything, not only business, but I just want to kind of touch on a little bit of topics that, are near and dear to my heart, not only business. But it's mostly going to be focused around business.
Okay. And how many businesses do you own?
I would say right now 3. I have my coaching business. I also have I'm launching a cosmetics brand hopefully by February, and I also do taxes. Yeah, I'm busy.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
And how long have you had your coaching business?
I've been doing coaching 5 years now. Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
And how did clients find you? Is our website?
Actually, a lot of clients find me word of mouth, and also I go to a lot of pop-up shops. I go to a lot of business networking events. Yeah, I'm actually booked for a vision board party in the next couple of weeks. So that's how I mostly meet people, and also from being on the radio and going live on Instagram, giving advice to people, coming up with topics. So that's how I'm really getting my word out about me being a business coach.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
So what caused you to decide to become a business coach?
I would say, honestly, what got me intrigued, I've always been a business person. I went to school for business, so it's always been in me, and I've always been intrigued about, how businesses run. And especially from a tax point of view, it's very beneficial when you have a business. And I think a lot of business owners really need to tap into that side of owning a business. Yes, it's hard work, but you also get great benefits tax-wise, being a business owner. And that's what always just got me intrigued to want to take it to the next level. And then I started researching business credit. And that's a whole different world that a lot of business owners have no clue about.
This is very, very intriguing. Yeah, because a lot of business owners probably don't know about this at all, that there's actually sources of financing out there.
They don't. I've spoken to business owners who've been in business for a year, 2 years, 10 years, 30 years, and a lot of them would say, they have no clue about business credit. They have no idea about loans, grants, angel investors. They're like, what is that? And I'm like, okay, this is my cue. This is my cue.
The universe is nudging you. You need quite a nudge in that direction, right?
Yes. So I just want to, help business owners, and I also want to help people also with their personal credit, because I think that's also important before you even start a business, to get your personal, like when I'm booked with a client, we do one session just on their personal credit, get that together, get their finances going, and then I jump into the business side, and it's been working excellent.
Oh, I'm so pleased to hear that. I think that's great.
Yes, because if your personal finances aren't in order, how are you going to handle a whole other entity of business?
That's right. And we think of business as a person, don't we? We say a whole other entity.
Yes.
When I talk about my business, it's like my business is a person. My business is my baby.
It is. Technically, it is, because it's something that you have to nurture, and you definitely have to work at your business every single day. There's no days off. There's no days off when it comes to business, so you have to be dedicated.
This is what I'm finding. Yeah, definitely.
You have to be dedicated.
There's no days off.
No, there's no days off if you want your business to be successful.
Right. But then there's also outsourcing, which is another way to go.
When it comes to outsourcing, that's for me. I feel sometimes outsourcing, you're not giving your customers 100%.
Right.
In my opinion.
Okay. So I think it would probably depend on the business, right? Because that might be more useful for people doing an online business. What do you think?
I mean, it depends. It depends on the business, but I just always feel a lot of times from different experiences, sometimes with outsourcing, it's not that the workers are not doing their job, but sometimes it could be even a language barrier, because a lot of American companies outsource, to different countries, and sometimes that causes a problem. Not that they're not doing their job, but they're trying to help the customer, but sometimes it could be a simple thing like a language barrier.
Yeah, I found that once I was calling a business, and I don't know what country their call center was based in. It wasn't based in India, because somewhere like India or Pakistan, there are many English speakers. So most of the time it's not a problem. But I found this one company, I couldn't understand. It's not I couldn't understand the lady that was speaking to. She had no clue about what I was saying. She had no understanding of what I was saying at all.
Because they're just reading a script. Yeah, they're just reading a script, and a lot of times when you throw things at them that are not on the script, I think they get a little confused. They get a little flustered, because they're like, okay, they're told you read the script, and in the script they're told, okay, the customer should answer this way. They give them a few choices, but a lot of times if you answer with, you just throw them off. And I think that's what happens.
I mean, what I find is like if I'm doing an online chat, then I'll just say I need to speak to someone. And some of them are quite good, actually. They'll just let me speak to someone straight away, which is what I want. I don't necessarily want to talk to a chatbot, you know?
Right. Yeah, I mean, for bigger businesses, it's cost effective, to pay, these outsourced companies, but a lot of times they're not giving, in my opinion, 100% customer service the way they should, and it's not their fault. It's just, that's just the way it is in business,
Or they haven't been trained properly or something.
That's also another thing. I think a lot of businesses and also business owners, I think they should train themselves before they even open a business also. If you're going to have a restaurant, you should learn from what a cashier does down to the person cleaning the restaurant. You should know what everybody does and how the job works.
That business inside and out, yeah.
I've met business owners and they have no idea how to run their cash register. How can you be a business owner and you have no idea how your cash register works?
That's baffling. That is baffling.
Does that make sense?
So we're going to come back to this. This is about researching your business. And I just want to remind everybody who's listening, if you've got any questions or comments for Stacey or for me, please send us on 515-605-9325 and then press 1 to be in the host queue. And if you're outside of the United States, you need to put 001. So that's 001-515-605-9325. Stacey's going to tell you how, my guest is Stacey Wilkinson, and she's going to tell you how you can raise finance for your business. So I know you want that. Everybody wants that. So please phone in with any questions or comments. You can also connect with us on Facebook on The Female Solution or on YouTube on The Female Solution. So Stacey, you said in my book, Affirmations for Business, that sometimes business owners don't use a bookkeeper. Why is this, and what problems does this cause?
In my experience, why a lot of business owners are not using bookkeepers because they feel like they can handle it, and most times they can't. Right. They're not willing to spend the money for a bookkeeper, because I also do bookkeeping for people, and a lot of times they feel like it's not a necessary service to be a part of their business, but it's very, very crucial. And if you don't have someone doing your books properly, you could get an audit on your business taxes if you do not have someone doing your books properly. Right. And I think a lot of business owners, even if you're not going to pay someone to do your books, you learn the software yourself to do your own books if you're not willing to pay someone.
I completely agree. And the thing is, before you even get the software, you can learn how to do basic bookkeeping. It's not that hard, but it is a skill that you need to learn.
It is. And there's so many free courses online. There's so many companies that, offer, they even train you for free before you even use the software. Or if you feel like it's something you can handle, definitely hire a bookkeeper or a CPA to do your books for you. But it's something that's it's essential for any business. It doesn't matter if your business is just starting out or mid-level up. You need someone to do your books for you. It's very crucial.
If you're going to do your own books, you need to learn how to do it.
Right.
It's a skill.
It is.
You don't just wake up one morning and know how to do your bookkeeping. You have to learn that.
But I always tell people, just think about it as your personal finances to the next level. Because we all budget our personal finance. Well, most people should budget their personal finances month to month. And I always tell clients, the first thing before we do anything, put all your bills together, put your income. I'm pretty sure if you add everything up, your bills are more than what you're bringing in.
Yeah,
and 9 times out of 10, they say you're right. They said I never looked at it that way because they never actually sat and looked at the figures. That's what bookkeeping is. You're looking at the figures, you're seeing what's coming in, what's going out. Basically, that's what it is, what's coming in and what's going out.
Yeah, I just think you do this month by month. You got all your receipts.
Right.
Arrange them, organize them, month to month. I mean, I don't do this for personal finances, but with my business up and running, I'm definitely going to do it. I've done it before, so I know it's not that hard. But you have to actually do it.
You do.
You have to actually do it.
coming in and going out is very, very crucial to your business. If you're applying for a business loan, a grant, anything, the investor's going to ask you, how much does your business make? What are you going to say? I have no idea, because you don't.
You just pull a number out of the air, out of thin air.
You can't. You can't. They want to know accuracy. They want to know, what is your business coming in. In the last 3 months, they might ask you, what did your business bring in for the last 3 months? You're going to say, oh, I have no idea. How can you have no idea? No, if you're a bank, would you loan someone who's going to tell you, I have no idea what I made in the last 3 months?
Probably not.
Right.
Probably not.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to tell people. They have to look at it like it's like another human being, just the way you get paid. You know what comes in, what goes out. It's the same thing for your business. You have to know what comes in and what goes out, what you're paying, how much you're spending. You have to know. You have to know.
Yeah, and the thing of it is, it's like, I think for some people, it's quite scary because
you said it perfect.
It's down in black and white, right?
You said it very perfect. A lot of people
are down in black and white, but we know how much is actually coming in, how much is actually going out. It becomes real.
People are scared of money, and it's like we deal with. If you think about it, you deal with money every single day. You're purchasing something every single day, whether it's cash in your hand or through a credit card, a bank account. You're making purchases every day. How can you be scared of money? It's something that revolves around your everyday life.
Exactly.
That's how you have to look at things, you know.
So when you explain that to people, they see the point of that, then, right?
They do.
You bring it home for people.
Yes.
About how crucial it is.
It's yes, it's very, very crucial, and it's very, very important. I tell people, money is something, don't be scared of it, but a lot of people, they're scared. You can't be scared of something you deal with every day, something that's very crucial. Without money, you can't live. You can't.
Well, in this day and age, that's very, very true.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I was just talking to my executive producer, Naima, about the economy may be in some very, very serious problems. And Naima's the kind of person, whenever there's a problem, she says, yeah, but look at it like this. This is what we're going to get from it. This is the benefit from it. Because that's what she's like. She just sees everything in terms of the positive. And, you know, she's really good like that. She's really creative like that. And she said, well, we're going to have to go back to a barter system because we have to learn to share. Well, I agree. We do need to learn to share. But a barter system, I'm in London and I want, you know, I can't just like say, right, I want to buy 3 cows from someone in Spain, or I want to sell dirty oranges to somebody in Germany or something.
Right. Yeah, right.
You know, it's like, it can in some ways make things a lot more simple. It can simplify things, but in other ways it can make things a lot more complicated. So it's going to be a bit of both, in my opinion.
It is. It definitely is a bit of both. And, you know, I try to tell people really have to, like, look at your finances, whether it's personal or a business. The world is changing. You really have to buckle down. And, you know, I know it's something we say all the time, but you have to watch every dollar, every penny. You have to. You can't just spend like crazy. You can't.
Very, very challenging this year.
But it's also a good time, too, if you have money to invest. Real estate, I advise anybody, if you have it, invest in real estate, invest in a business, because these are the things that are still flourishing no matter what.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
If you've got something that is going to retain its value,
right,
this is a good time to invest in it.
It is.
You seem to be saying.
Yes, it's a very, very good time. It's a very good time.
Excellent. Okay. Another thing that you said in the book, my book, Affirmations for Business, is that business owners sometimes use their personal bank accounts for their businesses. Can you tell us, please, what problems does this cause? Why is this a problem? And can you give me a couple of examples?
Sure. Using your personal bank account for a business is it's a red flag, number one, because if you're trying to apply for any kind of grants or loans, they want to see statements from your business, and you can't show them your personal income. You cannot show your personal income. That's why you have to have a business bank account to separate your finances. And I tell clients, when you have a business, you should have at least 3 to 4 business accounts. You should have one for income, one for payroll, one for taxes, and one for miscellaneous. And this is just for your business.
Wow. So you break it down. So if you don't have any employees yet, like say for example you've got partnership. You've got
well, then you could do without the payroll one if you have no employees. But I just tell people, if you know it's going to be on a bigger scale, you can separate it like that, so it makes things easier for the business.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So why is it that people don't do that?
Most times people are not knowledgeable. They just assume they can use their personal account for any kind of business activity.
Right.
You know, people are just not knowledgeable, and they just assume, oh, I have a checking account already. I'll make these businesses purchases. No, you can't. It has to be separated. You know, and I have an example. I met someone, he runs an Airbnb, and he's like, he had an accountant, somebody doing his books for him, charging him like $150 a month. And so I was asking him, I said, so the person who does your bookkeeping, they do your business bank account, they're paying your taxes for you? And he's like, no. I said, do you have a business bank account? He said, no, I do everything through my personal account. And I said, and you have someone doing your bookkeeping? He said, yes. And he charges me $150 a month. I said, so what?
Wow, that's an expense he doesn't need to be paying. Because he's not getting value from that.
So when I explained everything to him, he said, wow. I said, do you have your LLC? Do you have an escrow? He said, no. I said, so what has this person been doing for you for the last year? What bookkeeping are they doing? And it happens.
Basically.
Yeah, it happens. And this is a CPA. I'm not doubting any CPAs. I'm not saying they're not doing their job. I work with CPAs all the time. But there's some who, if they know you're not knowledgeable in a certain area, they're going to charge you double, triple.
That's the way it sounds to me like it's really unethical. And I'm sure it's true what you said, that there are loads of ethical CPAs out there who are doing their job and doing a good job.
Of course. But, you know, in everything there's good and there's bad. You know, there's good and bad in everything, but definitely when it comes to having a business, you have to separate, especially when it comes to the IRS, you have to separate your personal income from your business income.
Right. And the thing is, the bank might want to see both. Is that not the case?
Of course, yes, of course, the bank would want to see it all.
Right. But that they can be the same account. They can't be.
Right. It just can't be. That's just not how it works. And I think a lot of people, they don't get the concept, but it just makes sense. You can't have your personal with your business and vice versa. You have to keep both of them separated. Because if you have everything in one, how can you really see what's coming in and what's going out? You can't. Because everything's in one. You know,
that makes a lot of sense, Stacey.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Anybody who's listening to this is learning stuff. I can assure you they're out there learning right now about this stuff. I think in a minute we're going to go to a commercial. I think I'm going to go to a commercial now. So if you want to jump on StreamYard, this is a good time to do it. Have you got the link?
Okay, I'm refreshing my cell phone. It's kind of, sometimes my email's coming a little late, but I've been refreshing and I haven't seen the email pop up yet. Let me try again.
Okay.
Let me refresh again. Yes,
let me see if I can do this thing.
Yeah, I've been refreshing my email and nothing has popped up yet.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a break, and during the break, I should send you this link, okay?
Okay, great.
It's lovely to talk to you. I'm really enjoying this. It's just flowing. You've got so much information to offer.
Oh, man, I could talk for hours about business.
Oh, good. You've got a lot to share. Okay, we'll be back shortly.
All righty.
You are tuned in to the Soulful Chicago Book Fair 2020 Vision Fundraising Campaign. That's right. You can support the vision of reviving Black literary excellence in this city by simply taking your $20 or more and donating it on our website. Visit www.soulfulchicagobookfair.com and click the Donate tab on our homepage. or give us a call at 646-359-6605, and we welcome you, helping us breathe literary life into the South Side of Chicago.
We all say we would like to be wealthy, but wealth isn't determined by how much money you have. Wealth is determined by your power to define what money is. The dictionary defines money as something used as a way to pay for goods and services and to pay people for their work. So how would you like to have access to an unlimited source of money? Money that is not taxed by the government. Money that increases as you share the opportunity with others. Money that you can use to pay for goods and services and pay people for their work. I'm talking about Bitcoin. It's the future of independent wealth building. Bitcoin is the new money that you control. Get started building your wealth. Call 312-849-3456. That's 312-849-3456. What happens when a group of people are kidnapped from their homes, smuggled away in chains, and held captive in a foreign land where they are tortured, raped, and forced to perform hard labor by the lash of a whip and under the constant threat of death? Slavery, the African American psychic trauma. What happened to the doctors, writers, scientists, builders, educators, and spiritual leaders from Africa's golden age? Who did they really capture and sell into slavery? Are all African Americans suffering from psychic trauma because of a conspiracy to hide their true identity? Do you have psychic trauma? Take the test on page 22 of the book and see. Order it online today at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. And get your personally autographed copy of the book, Slavery, the African American Psychic Trauma.
Greetings, everybody. We're back. This is Zhana with Success Strategies. I'm the host on the Female Solution Worldwide Radio and TV Network, first Saturday of every month with the Success Strategy Show. Every month, we are here to help you and support you to find solutions to your problems. We're here to help you make 2023 your best year yet. If you have questions or comments, please phone in on 515-605-9325. Then press 1 if you'd like to speak to me, the host, or to my guest. My guest today is Stacey Wilkinson, who's one of the business coaches I interviewed in my new Kindle ebook, Affirmations for Business. Stacey is an expert on raising finance for your business, and I know you want that. Everybody wants that. Everyone wants to know how to get finance for their business. So talk to Stacey. So please phone in if you've got any questions or comments. Or you can just listen in if you'd like to on Blog Talk Radio under the Female Solution. So, Stacey, in your book, you said that staff need to be trained in customer service. And I want to tell you, every time I talk or do a show about Black business in particular, the customer service issue comes up every single time. When we talk about why don't we patronize our own Black businesses, Black-owned businesses, this always comes up every single time. Customer service. Have you seen customer service be a particular problem for Black-owned businesses, or is it just a general problem?
I would say it's a business issue.
Can you give us a couple of examples?
Well,
Yes. Stacey, I muted your mic so that we don't get feedback. So you won't really need your mic. Stacey, I muted your mic so that you don't get feedback. So you won't really need your phone. You'll be able to actually hear it. Stacey's joined us on StreamYard. So now she'll be able to talk directly through the StreamYard. So, so Zhana, can you hear her now? Stacey, go ahead.
Hello. Hi, Stacey. Are you still there?
You can hear me?
I can hear you. You can hear me?
Oh, great. I'm sorry about that.
No problem. Thanks for joining us here on.
Yes. At all.
Yeah, and I can see your beautiful face.
Thank you so much.
Is my guest today on success strategies with Zhana. I'm the host for the first Saturday of every month for the Female Solution, worldwide radio and TV network. And I'm talking to Stacey Wilkinson, who's an expert on raising funding or raising finance for your business. So we were just talking about customer service. So when you say, Stacey, that you see this particularly as a problem for Black-owned businesses.
Yes. Unfortunately, it is a major issue with Black-owned businesses. I've experienced this many times. I try to frequent Black-owned businesses, them, but many times the customer service, I'm not sure if it's lack of training from the business owners. I'm not sure if it's just maybe a personal thing, if they're having a bad day, but it happens too frequently and too often, especially in the Black-owned businesses. And I think they need maybe a more extensive training in customer service, I would say, for a Black-owned business.
So why do you think this is a problem, and why do you think it's a problem specifically for Black-owned businesses?
I think the problem is a lot of times, let's say it's a retail store and it's a Black-owned retail store. A lot of times maybe the workers, they really don't want to be there. They really don't want a retail job. They're not happy, but at the end of the day, you have to work. So I think that contributes to a lot of attitudes that a lot of workers, like I went into a business and the young lady, the way she grabbed the money out of my hand, the change went flying all over. And she was so embarrassed. She was so embarrassed because she realized it's something that I've gone in there many times, and it's something that she does a lot. She grabs the money out of people's hands and the money went flying, and she was embarrassed. And if it's an attitude you have to leave that at the door. You're there to work. And I think that's a problem.
I've seen that same thing happen with my employee as well.
Yes. You ask a question.
The person didn't even realize, I can't remember now if it was a man or a woman, but the person didn't even realize that they grabbed the money out of my hand.
Yeah.
And I pointed it out to them, and then a couple of days later, the same thing happened again with the same employee. So I'm wondering, what do you think is the problem specifically to do with Black-owned businesses?
I think the problem is it's probably more of a personal issue that maybe some of the employees have. Like I said, a lot of times maybe they're working these jobs, the pay is not to their liking, maybe the hours, maybe they just don't want to be there. But like I said, at the end of the day, they need a job, but that has nothing to do with, you have to always do your job 100%. I've started out in retail. I didn't love it, but at the end of the day, I had a son and I had things to do, and I did it, and I did it to the best of my ability. When I worked in retail, you have to know any business you work for, you should know your products. When I worked in retail, I knew everything.
Absolutely.
I would walk through the whole store before every shift. I would look at prices. I would see what's new. So if a customer would ask me a question, I could say, okay, the new bags, they're in the back against the wall, or the price of this. Sometimes you ask them, what's the price of things? They say, oh, I don't know. Or they say,
yeah. But again, I had that the other week. I was in a big supermarket, and there's a pharmacy based inside the supermarket. This actually, I don't know, maybe about a year ago or so. And I wanted to buy a thermometer.
Right.
And there was a white lady behind the counter, and I asked her how much the thermometer was. And she said, I don't know, it's like maybe it's £7 or something like that. Or it's around £7. So I said, do I pay for it here or do I pay for it at the till? She said, no, you need to pay for it here. So I said, well, how much is it? When I said that, then she didn't look up the price.
Right.
Telling me I have to pay for a thermometer, but not telling me the price.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, would you walk into a shop and just say, right, I'm going to pay you for this, and you don't even know how much it costs?
Right. Right.
Mhm.
You're so right about that.
So, yeah, I mean, you don't know how much it is. It could be 300 pounds. It could be 30 pence. You just don't know if the person doesn't tell you, if it's not labeled. But what I'm wondering is, what do you think is specifically the problem, or if there's more than one problem, specifically for Black-owned businesses?
I think the problem I can just assess from my many experiences, I think it's more of a personal issue. It's not even about the business. It's more of a personal issue. People take their problems to their job, and you shouldn't.
Oh, they do, but don't you see that in every race of people?
I have a question. I have a question for.
Black employees.
Yeah, I have a Zhana, I have a question for Stacey, if I may.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I know that
Mhm.
go into business,
Mhm.
they don't know that they're supposed to train their employees on how to treat people. They don't even focus on it, because a lot of them, you know, they
That is
come from working for somebody.
right.
They decide, well, I want to be the boss. I want to go in business. But
Right.
they don't know how to train people who work for them
Because they
how
have
to
no,
treat people.
because they have, if you don't know, how can you train someone else?
Can't teach what you don't know.
Exactly.
And they don't know that that's the main part of
Right.
people wanting to do business with you, is how they're treated.
Exactly.
I mean, I've had a lot of people that will complain. Well, Black people don't support Black people, and we need to spend more money with Black people. They say all these things, but then you go into their shop and you're treated so badly. You don't want to spend money where people either ignore you when you come in,
or look at you like you have 3 heads.
Yes. Who wants to feel that when they're spending money? So you go to some place and maybe it costs a little more or whatever, maybe people from another community, but they're kind to you and you feel good about spending money. They make you feel like you're welcome. Even if they hate you, they know that this is important for them to get paid.
Yes.
And it's like many of our
It's business.
many of our businesses don't know that.
Doesn't matter if you like my face or not.
Yes.
You have to treat me a certain way because I'm a customer.
And I even, I go to a lot of pop-up shops, and, I surveyed a room. I talked to every vendor there. And a lot of times I would ask vendors questions. They look away. They're looking on their phone. I would ask them how much something costs. They'd say, oh, I don't know. Or you can look on the website. I'm at a pop-up shop. You're selling your product and I'm asking you the price of something. You're going to tell me to look on the website?
Yeah. What I need you for. Yeah. But
why do I need you?
Yeah.
And why do I need to buy from your shop? You're not even tell me the price or something.
Right.
Why do I need to shop here?
Right. But Zhana, what I think, and like Stacey's saying, it's a personal problem. I think a lot of times, because our people have such low self-esteem, the whole thing becomes more important to feel like I'm the boss, I'm important, and therefore I'm going to treat you like you're not important. Because we have such low self-esteem, we have such a need to be important. We don't know that how you really be important is to make other people feel important. That's what makes them want to shop with you. If you don't know how to do that, they're not going to bring you their money. But we have such a need to be the boss, to be important, to show how powerful we are. We don't know those basic things about how to attract customers, which is you must be nice to people and make them feel important. I think that's what's missing in our understanding of business.
If you're nice to someone and you make them feel important, then you are going to enjoy the exchange more. Right? Let's not even talk about the money for a minute, right? You're going to enjoy your job more if you're brightening other people's day.
Yes.
I mean, I went to this big shop this afternoon and I came over. I was in some pain. I wasn't very well. And they needed me to sit down. And I started chatting to the security guard. Now, most shops that I go into, as soon as I walk in the door, I say hello to the security guard. Partly so they will know I'm not a thief, and partly because it's just a nice thing to do. And I'm not just treating them like a security guard, I'm treating them like a human being.
That's a good point.
So this guy, I've always chatted to and said hello to. He's been off for a few weeks, but he's back now. And I said, can you please find someone who can, I just wanted to pick up a few things. I didn't feel up to looking for things in the shop. I just needed to sit down. And I said, could you find somebody, please?
who can help me with my shopping. And he went off, it's not his job, but he went off looking for somebody to help me. And then he came back to me and said, no, they're too short staffed. So he actually went and got a few things for me.
Wow.
Yeah, and then took them to the till, and obviously I gave him the money, and he paid for them, and brought them back to me. He's a security guard; that's not his job, but he's willing to go the extra mile. And I think that's because when I walk in the shop, I always say, "Hi, how you doing?" And I treat him like a human being. You get me?
Wow, that's a big lesson.
Yes. Kindness goes along. Kindness, there's no price tag on kindness. I always tell people that there's no price tag on kindness and being courteous to people. It can take you places. It can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
With being a Buddhist as well, kindness is our first ethical precept.
Yeah.
And all of our other ethical precepts are all based on the first precept, which is kindness, deeds of loving kindness. But the thing about the precepts is that they're not rules, right? They're training principles. But I enjoy it. I enjoy being kind to people. Mm-hmm. And I'm a New Yorker, and I'm naturally shy, so it would be hard for me in the past.
Yeah.
Even say hello to someone, it could be really difficult. But I'll tell you, it really pays dividends. It really does. Not just financially, but in terms of just human interaction. It can make somebody's day. And that's a lovely feeling when you've made somebody's day.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So I got another question.
What do you think that Black-owned businesses in particular need to do in order to learn this stuff? Because the three of us in this conversation, we understand this, and I know there's loads of other people, Black consumers, who want to patronize Black-owned businesses, but they're put off by lack of customer services. So there's a lot of people out there who understand this situation. How is it that people in this business, you just give them an example, how is it they don't get it? And what can be done to change this?
A lot of people don't get it.
What do they need to do to sort of wake up to this? Because their customers know this. That's why they don't have the customers they want to have. Because the customers get it. What do the businesses have to do to wake up to this?
I think they should put some funds towards training their employees properly, even themselves as the business owner. Have a consultant come in, let them review your business, let them see the parts that are deficient, let them see how you can make improvements, even go online, take courses. That's what business owners need to do.
So Stacey, is that part of what you do as a business coach? Do you train businesses on how to train their employees? Is that part of what you do as a business coach?
I do give people pointers. I do tell them things that they can do for their business. And yeah, I do give them pointers. I do. Because sometimes you need someone from the outside to look in and say, okay, maybe this could be changed. Maybe that can be done. I do give them pointers. Yeah.
John, I got another question for Stacey. And I don't know if you've observed this or experienced this, but sometimes when businesses are physically unclean looking, like the floor is dirty, they haven't mopped the floor, especially if it's a restaurant, that's really gross, or if the bathroom is nasty, that talk about a turnoff. Things like that, which really makes me feel like the place is unclean or unsanitary. Have you noticed that, and is that something that businesses need to be more conscious of? Their physical appearance, especially when it comes to cleanliness, how that really can be a turnoff to a customer.
You know why some businesses, they know that's the issue with their business, but you know why they're not doing anything about it? Because they still have customers. People still come in there. People might say, oh, that restaurant is dirty, but the food is good. People still go there. So in their mind, right. Or cheap. Or the food is cheap. Even though the place is not the most clean, but the food might be cheap, the food might be reasonable, the food might even taste good. So sometimes people look past that.
I can't do that if I'm eating.
I can't. When it comes to eating.
But there's a big supermarket in Britain, and there's a few, this is slightly off topic, but still, I think it's worth saying. There was this video on YouTube a few months ago of their bakery. There's all these croissants left out. They weren't covered or anything. And there were rats running around the croissant.
Oh, gross. Rats.
Rats, rodents.
Yeah.
I'm never more than about a meter away from a rodent in London. I don't know about the rest of the country, but I know in London you're never more than about a meter away from a rat. And they were just running wild in Sainsbury's. They were just, they were just having fun running up and down the croissants. And the croissants weren't covered or anything. It was really sickening. I won't buy croissants. I may not buy anything from Sainsbury's Bakery again. And it's a big supermarket, and it's a nice supermarket. It's a posh supermarket. That stuff is not cheap. But it was just booming. And I'm sure there's a lot of people just said, right, I'm not buying anything from Sainsbury's again, or I'm certainly not buying any croissants from them again. It's awful.
Oh, it's
so, I mean,
that is gross.
It's a big supermarket, which is very profitable. It doesn't bother about the hygiene. What does that actually say? What does that say about these retail outlets?
I'd be scared to buy products there. But that happened to a group of us. We went out, and I won't say the name of the restaurant because we go there a lot. But we took my dear friend out for his birthday. And we're sitting there on the, outside patio part, and we saw rats running up and down. And, one of our friends, she actually screamed and got, because, we're sitting there, and these little rodents, they were not frightened of us. They just ran freely. And I guess because it was a restaurant, and they had a drive-through, and people would probably toss food out the windows, when they're done with it, and just. But that attracted mice. So we approached the management. We told them. And, some months later, they kind of reconfigured things on the outside. They removed the little dirt part where the rodents would probably hiding and, bringing their food back. So they kind of cleared that area there. But, it was challenging to sit there and eat because you're thinking, wait a minute, even though these rodents are outside, but the restaurant is right there, and how can we feel about eating because we don't know what your kitchen looks like, even though I usually don't like to eat places unless I can see the kitchen and observe the people cooking and kind of get an idea of how diligent they are about cleaning up the floor while they're cooking. But that was kind of a gross experience.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is that why should the customer have to explain that?
Yeah. So now my question is, are people maybe not putting enough emphasis on the staff that's responsible for the cleaning, like the person who's supposed to check the toilets often, the person who's supposed to keep the floors clean? Are they maybe not making that job attractive enough or rewarding enough or something so that people will want to do it and want to do it well? Or is it a personal problem, like where they just don't want to do their job, like Stacey's saying, they don't want to do the work, they don't want to come to work, they half do it because they don't care. What is that?
I think when it comes to retail restaurants, a lot of times it's the employees who are responsible, like you said, for maybe cleaning up the restrooms, cleaning up. I think any business on that scale, whether a restaurant or retail, you should have like a cleaning person or company come in. It shouldn't be the responsibility of the employees to have to clean the bathrooms. I'm sorry. That's what it's about. I've done retail, and we've all had a schedule where we had to clean the bathrooms. And from that, I said, no, that's fair. That's not fair. Yes, you're an employee, you're doing your work, but I feel like when it comes to certain things, that's why they have cleaning companies. But a lot of business owners are not willing to put out that extra money. In their mind, why should I have somebody to come and clean for 8 hours? It's necessary.
Yeah.
It's necessary. Yeah. You need to have those funds allocated for cleaning for your business. It is not on the employees to have to rotate schedules to clean a bathroom. I'm sorry.
That's a business opportunity for somebody. If you want a cleaning business, go around and see who has a nasty bathroom and give me a business rates and say, look, I can fix this for you. There you go.
A lot of people are starting cleaning businesses, and they're making money because people always need a business, or they always need someone to clean, even for your home. You can't do everything. You need assistance.
No, you can't do everything. And if you're working 25 hours a day, you need to hire someone. Oh gosh, this takes me back. Years ago, this friend of mine told me that a friend of hers really got angry with her because having a go at someone. Someone really had to go at her because she was hiring a cleaner to come in a couple of days a week. She's
There's
working a full-time job. She's got the money to pay someone, which means she's giving someone employment. What is the problem?
It sounds ritzy, like, oh, you think you're
right? You can outsource your cleaning.
Yeah. It's necessary.
Yeah, some people think that makes them seem like they're trying to be too highfalutin, high class, or whatever. Oh, you're come on. You're too important to clean your own house.
And what's wrong with being high class anyway?
There you go.
Because we're black and female, we're not supposed to be high class.
Right. You can't pay somebody to scrub your toilet. Yeah, why not? Right.
If you could afford it, go for it.
I don't see a problem with it personally. Me personally, I don't see a problem. If you have a problem with hiring somebody to be a cleaner, then sign in. Because we want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear your views. This is the female solution. I'm Zhana. This is my show, the Success Strategy Show. We're on the first Saturday of every month. And today I'm talking to my guest, Stacey Wilkinson, who's one of the business coaches I interviewed in my new Kindle ebook, Affirmations for Business. Stacey is an expert in helping you to raise finance for your business, and I know you want that. So do phone in if you've got any questions or comments for Stacey or for me. The number is 515-605-9325. And then press 1 to speak to me, the host. And if you're outside of the United States, it's 001-515-605-9325. We're going to go to a break, but stay with us, please. Stick and stay. Don't stray away, because we're going to, I've got lots more questions from my guests, and I'm sure you do as well. We'll be back shortly.
We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com.
Are you constantly arguing with your spouse? Are your children misbehaving and acting out? Someone in your family abusing drugs? Have you been the victim of domestic violence? Are you grieving over the loss of a loved one? Let us help you restore serenity to your life. At Serenity Family Social Services, we understand that good mental health is the result of emotional well-being. Our goal is to assist you and your family in removing emotional distress and restoring harmony and balance to your lives. We offer individual, couples, and family counseling. I'm Howard Williams, CEO of Serenity Family Social Services. Call us today at 312-315-4820. That's 312-315-4820.
Do you want to live in a world without war? Join our global peace movement. Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light transcends culture, religion, ideology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shin-Suk Kim of the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering.
call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com.
And we're back. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Naima, can I just ask you, how's the sound quality?
It's good. It's better. Yes, it's good. Can you hear everything okay, Stacey?
I'm on my phone right now.
Great on my end. I love
so far.
Great.
So if there's no echo, we can continue. Excellent.
Great.
Excellent. Okay. So welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
So Stacey, tell us about, have you had clients that have resisted your advice? Can you give us a couple of examples?
Oh, yes, definitely. Out of every 5 clients I come into contact with, at least one would say, they always challenge, why should I pay you to help you with my business? And I let them know I can help you start your business, maintain your business, and grow your business. And the points that I give them is that I'm a business coach. I also do taxes, and I also do bookkeeping. So these 3 points are very crucial. And I tell them, you're not going to find a business coach who is proficient in all of these areas at the same time. So it's well worth it. And what I charge clients, believe me, is not even a third of what some coaches charge thousands of dollars, thousands. And yep, some people fight me. And they feel like they feel it's not necessary, and I always tell them, I give advice for free, but if you want me to work with you one-on-one, I have to charge you. And that's just,
Sure. Can you give us a couple examples?
Sure. Like I had one client, I gave her so much information for free. She wanted to start a medical billing from home business. And I gave her all the information. I gave her the sites. I gave her the links. And she said, oh, can you execute some of these tasks for me? And I said, sure, no problem. I told her my fee. And she said, I have to pay you for that? I said, yes, I'm giving you free advice. But I mean, if you want me to do something for you. And I said, what I'm charging you is a one-time fee. And she was like, oh, can I get a discount? And
what is the discount?
But I believe you. I believe that happened. Yeah, I mean, so when she came along to meet you, she didn't bring her checkbook. This is what you're saying. Right?
Yeah. And I gave her a lot of information.
Going to fall out of the air? Or she can leave on air?
I'm sorry?
She said, I'm saying she doesn't think you need money. You can leave on air.
I think because, I met with someone and she's actually a resume coach. And she told me, she said, you're giving away too much information for free. So that's why she said people maybe feel like, oh, she gave me 90% of the information for free. Why should the other 10%? Why do I have to pay? And like she told me, I have to start scaling back. Unfortunately, I have to start scaling back. She said, you can give information, but you can't give them everything. They have to pay for something. You have to.
Yeah.
That's what was happening to me. She was like, even for like a 1-hour discovery call, she said, you should be charging for that. And I feel like, why should I charge someone for a call just to get the gist of what the information they're going to need for the business? She said, no, everything has a price. You have to start charging. And unfortunately, that's what I have to start doing. I have to, because.
Right. But the thing is that I think we need to value each other. This, again, to me, relates to Black-owned businesses and Black customers.
Yeah.
Sometimes we want everything for free. I give a lot of things away for free, but I don't give away everything for free. And we need to value each other enough to be willing to pay. If you went into a white person shop or an Asian person shop, would you be saying, just give me that for free, right?
Like I tell them, when you go to Macy's, $200, you can't haggle on the price. You have to pay $200. Macy's wants their money. So why can't I do the same for my business? It's the same thing.
Well, exactly. This is what I mean. We need to value each other. If you were going into a hair shop which is owned by an Asian person, you would say, give me that wig. I want that for free.
And they never
hair cream. I want that for free. Or whatever you want. You have to pay for it. When you walk in the door, you're going to have to pay for stuff.
They rather lose that sale than give.
When we go into a black-owned businesses, we expect to get it for free.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. Feel like we want everything for free, and that's not the way it works.
I got another question. Also, Zhana, the attitudes about even legitimately being in business, because I know people, they will do everything by cash. They don't, like you're talking about having a business bank account. Everything is their personal account. They maybe pay their employees cash. I mean, it's like, or if they hire anybody, I mean, it's like not wanting to be legitimate in terms of having money traceable, because maybe they're and sorry if I'm talking about you, friends, but I've had people who they maybe they're getting some kind of public assistance, and in order to survive they have to do something on the side, but they don't want it to be an official business, so they don't get a business license, they don't open a business account, they don't pay people by check or any traceable thing. Everything's under the table. But then if you get ready to do something like grow or get a loan, you can't, because you don't have any tax returns, because you didn't file, because you didn't report it. Because what is that? Is that fear of actually being successful? Because I feel like if you've got a good business, whether it's a hair braiding business, whatever it is you're doing under the table, if you really wanted to grow, go ahead and establish it as a legitimate official business. Do all the paperwork, file the taxes, so that then you can benefit when there are opportunities that come up. Somebody wants a contract with business, but if you don't have anything to show you're in business, because you want to keep making money under the table. I had a friend to tell me, well, if public aid finds out I'm doing this, then they'll take away my aid. I'm like, but the amount of money you're making, you probably don't need the aid. Even if you feel like you do, believe enough in yourself where you will go ahead and decide at some point you're going to be employing yourself with your own business. What is that? What is that hesitancy? Is that
because at the beginning you might have to do that. You might need to do cash only business until you get established.
But shouldn't there be a plan?
That plan that one day you're going to be established. You're going to be able to pay for yourself.
Yeah.
You're able to keep yourself.
Yeah, because I can understand that. It's a transition, but shouldn't there be a belief?
That's the government's tips. But I understand it's hard for people. I do get that.
Yeah, and I get that too, because it is hard,
And your business might be uncertain. But once it's established, you move on to the next level.
Yeah, and I've seen people kind of stuck there, and I've seen a lot of times where they could have, maybe there was a contract they could have gotten, a company that wanted to contract somebody in a shopping mall to do their kind of business, but they couldn't qualify because they didn't have any business structure. And I'm thinking, even if you do have to do that transition thing, cash only for a while you transition, I'm thinking there should be a game plan where at some point you believe you're going to be able to be official and do the things that a business does, so that you can come out of that dependency on whatever, public aid or public assistance thing. And because I understand, they don't pay you enough to survive. You got to do something else. But at some point, you should believe that you're going to be able to support yourself with the business that you're doing under the table, so that you can let that go. I just think if you believe it's going to happen, then you'll do what's necessary to make it happen. But if you don't believe it's going to happen,
as you said, you
stay stuck.
Yeah. You need to have a plan, because this is what's called the poverty trap, right? If the government was saying, right, you can work, you can support yourself, and we'll still give you some money. We'll reduce the amount of money, but we will still give you some money, rather than we're just going to cut you off and leave you to it. You see, this is the poverty trap. If you earn above a certain amount, you have to come off benefit.
That is a trap. So how do we get out of that trap where if you take the money from the government, it's not enough to survive, you got to do something else, but then as soon as you report that you're doing something else, they take away the little bit that they're giving you, so you still are left barely surviving? What is the solution to that poverty trap, especially for people who really do want to at some point go into business?
I think people just have to educate themselves. Even if you're making cash from your business, you're supposed to report that to the IRS. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. You're supposed, even if you're a waitress or waiter, you're supposed to report your tips to the IRS. And I think that that's the problem. A lot of people, they had no clue.
They'll take what I have if they know what I have.
Right. You're supposed to report it. The IRS says whatever you make, whether it's cash, I want to know. I want, and you're supposed to report it. That's why I feel people feel like if I'm making $600 a week cash and I report this to the IRS, I have to give them half. You do, because you have to pay your taxes. So they figure, let me just get the cash and never report it to the IRS. I'm good. You're making money in your business, but you have nothing to show.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm saying. It's not an incentive then, is it, to come off benefit? You're not incentivized. They're just going to take off you what you've earned.
Right, right.
There has to be a better way. There has to be a way that people, because I do understand that poverty trap where if you're reporting what you're earning and it's not really enough to get you to the next level, but as soon as you say you have enough money to live decently, then you're back struggling because they take away whatever assistance you were receiving that actually helped you make ends meet.
Right.
So there has to be a better way.
It's deciding what you need to live on, right? They're not saying what do you need to live on. They're telling you this is what you need to live on.
Yeah, and no more. We're going to make sure that that's all you get.
Yeah.
It's a different question because I watch things like when I have time, I watch Undercover Boss, and I love that show. It's a brilliant show. And lately, I've been watching Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, and they're all in the States. I mean, they're old episodes. They're still really good, really enjoyable. But like the same thing happens every week. You know, Gordon goes into a restaurant. We watched it. Have you watched it, Stacey?
I'm sorry, if I watch it?
Yeah, have you watched Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares?
Oh, yes, definitely. That's a great show. And I think a lot of business owners should really learn a lot. You learn a lot. And I think what happens to a lot of business owners, sometimes they just have the money and they feel like, oh, I have the money. Let me just open up a restaurant. And they have no clue what to do. That happens.
Exactly. And I just find it interesting that the same thing happens every episode. He comes in, I've seen him coming in disguise, and someone else comes in pretending to be him, and he watches to see how they treat the person who they think is Gordon Ramsay as opposed to how they treat him.
Yeah.
It's really well, I mean, it's a little bit underhanded, but it's very entertaining. It's very entertaining because you get to see how they treat real people, how they treat real customers. But it's the same every week that he goes in, he tries the food. Almost always the food's not good enough. And people say, my food is 100%, my food is good. Our food is great. And then he goes into the kitchen and he checks it out and he finds things that should not be happening in any kitchen. Sometimes he closes the places down. And it just makes me wonder, these people who have Gordon Ramsay come in to advise them, do they not watch the program? They never seem to learn.
They do.
They watch. We were sitting at a table ordering, and the server will say, "Tell me this is fresh." And then he tastes it, he says, it doesn't taste fresh, it tastes frozen. Right? Because he's a chef. He's Gordon Ramsay. He's one of the top chefs. He knows, he can tell when something is fresh or frozen. So what are you lying to him for? But do you find this, that there's people who just won't listen and won't learn?
Very stubborn. They're very, very stubborn. They're going to do it their way no matter what. And even though it's wrong, there are some people, they're just going to do it their way.
Yes. We got a comment from Facebook. Zelda Robinson, our Monday host, says, Grand Rising, beautiful queen teachers. Loving the international flavor live from London. Awesome show. Thank you, Zelda. Yes.
Thank you, Zelda. That's lovely. One of my sisters in the microphone. Sisters of the microphone.
Yes. Yeah, you know, it's interesting.
The other show that I really love is Undercover Boss. Undercover Boss USA. Sometimes I watch Undercover Boss Australia. Undercover Boss USA, it almost always boils down to the people at the top are not listening to what the people underneath them are telling them, right? And you have a whole bunch of franchises the franchise owners, the people at the top of the organization are not listening to the franchise owners. So they go, it doesn't matter what kind of business it is, it's the same thing. They're having the company go into this business and they'll find out all these things. And I'm just wondering, do people not watch this program? Because do they not learn from this experience that they need to be listening to the people lower down?
They don't learn.
They're not watching. They're not watching. I don't know.
Well, I got another question also.
Watching, they would learn something.
They would definitely learn something. But Stacey, do you think that when people go into business, they tend to be kind of maybe arrogant, thinking they don't need to listen to people who work for them? It's like, I'm the boss, you do what I tell you, and they don't listen. Is that a common thing that happens?
Very, very common in business. Even when you try to give them advice or you try to say, look, it shouldn't go, they're going to tell you, no, it's my business. It happens a lot. People just feel like because they own a business that it's more than just having that deed saying you own this business. It's much more to it than that. You have to know the in and outer workings of that business for it to be successful and for it to succeed. You know, you have to. You can't just say, oh, I'm the boss and I own it and I'm going to do what I want. No, you can't. You have to take advice from somebody sometime, somewhere. And I get it a lot too as a woman when I speak to male business owners. A lot of times they're like, oh, but I'm a man and it should work this way. And I say, no, it's not going to work that way. If you follow my instructions, you'll succeed. But, you know, that's a whole nother topic. You know?
Yeah. What's a hard-headed man you've had to deal with?
They're very stubborn. No, it's going to work my way. And I say, okay, try it your way. And they always come back, you know, well, you advise it. Okay, because I know you didn't want to listen.
What's a common mistake that business owners make? At first, they won't listen when you try to tell them they need to fix that. What's a common thing you see happen all the time?
A lot of times people are taking advice from people who are not a common business owner or someone that maybe they could look at as to maybe a something. A lot of times people are taking advice from people who have no knowledge of what you're asking them.
So why are people taking their advice though?
Because sometimes people are gullible. Honestly, people are gullible, or people feel like, oh, my friend so-and-so told me I should do this in my business. Do they have a business? No. Why are you listening to them? Oh, because I trust.
Oh, yeah. In my family, there's not a lot of business owners. And I can remember when I was a young woman living in New York and I was considering doing certain things, and my dad would say, wow, why don't you set up a business, right? And he's really keen to go into business with me.
Right.
Well, I said to him, Daddy, one day I said to him, Daddy, do you, with my dad, when he was alive, do you have experience at negotiating?
Yep.
And he laughed and he went, no.
Right.
And I said, okay, well, you know, I suggest you do a course in learning how to negotiate.
Yep.
He said, well, I would do this and that, but I won't take a course. And I didn't say anything. So I thought, if I were going to hire someone, it doesn't matter if they're related to me or not, okay? If I'm going to hire somebody, if I'm going to employ somebody, I want to see what they're going to do for me, right? Not what they're not going to do for me.
Right.
You get me?
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, another thing I think that's
what you're going to do for me. Don't tell me I'm not going to do this. And, you know, why are you giving me business advice? And you're not a business owner.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
Well, you know, that's another thing when people hire their family because they feel like, you know, okay, I'm going to hire my family. And I can understand that. But what if your family doesn't have any of the skills that you need in your business? So
This is the thing. Yes, I might consider hiring family if they have the skills, if they bring the right skills and the right attitude, the right approach.
For people, it's a trust factor. They feel because it's their family that they're more trustworthy, but sometimes that's not always the case.
Yeah, and they don't teach their family any public relations skills, any customer service skills. You know, you got your niece working the cash register who really don't want to be there because she wanted to go on a date that night and you told her she got to work, so she got an attitude, you know. Yeah, she's your family.
Yeah.
She's driving away all the customers.
Just hiring a neutral person.
When you come to work, you're here to work. right? I don't care if you're my mother, you're my dad, or you're, related to me. When you come to work, you come to work.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. Totally agree. I think people should not hire family when it comes to business. Honestly, you should get someone neutral or.
Businesses work really well, but one of the things I find entertaining about watching Gordon Ramsay is that almost all of them are family-run restaurants, and they're run really badly. And when he comes in, he has to reconcile the family members. Like you might have a brother that you haven't spoken to in 10 years or something. He has to reconcile them. A husband and wife might find that their marriage is falling apart, and that's affecting the business. So you have to actually reconcile the people in order to get the business back on track. I find that fascinating how often that happens.
Yeah.
Well,
I think because I was in business with my husband, and my daughter recommended that I not be in business with the next person that I marry.
I agree.
He passed away like 15 years ago. But she saw us bringing work home. And so if we were having a difficulty, that, and if we had a disagreement in the business, that became what was happening in the household. And when you can't separate it, sometimes it's not good. So I do understand how.
You need to leave your business at work.
Yeah, you need to leave it at work. So I can understand why that could have an impact on the marriage if the business is going through some challenges, and maybe you and your spouse don't agree on how you should handle something. You're bringing that argument home, and then you're mad at each other about it. And then if you're arguing something at home, and you bring that into the office, into your workplace, and all the employees, all your people who are affiliated with you, they can feel the tension. So sometimes it's not a good idea. It just depends on how well you can get along and how well you can resolve things and how well you can keep work at work and home at home and not mix the two.
Right. I agree totally.
It's really interesting because sometimes, I'm only saying this from watching Gordon Ramsay, I'm not saying this from personal experience, but sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes the business affects the family life or the relationship, but sometimes it's the other way around as well. Sometimes the relationship affects the business. And, when Gordon Ramsay comes into a situation, a lot of times he's working as a mediator among different family members, and he has to reconcile them in order to get the business back on track. And I find that very interesting. Very interesting. Because in the end, that means it's all about relationships. That's what it's about. It's not really about the business. It's not really about the money. But when the relationships are going well, then the business goes well.
Yeah. Well, I've known a couple of businesses.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Yeah, you should definitely try and separate business from personal because it can get very ugly.
So, Stacey, what do you recommend people say if they are in business with their spouse and there's a divorce? Should they also separate their business relations, or should they still try to work together if they are critical components to the business? Can you still do that if your personal relationship is shot?
It's not going to. It's not going to work out. I've seen it. I've advised clients. Some clients said, me and my husband or my boyfriend, we're not on the best of terms, but I want to start a business with him. I would say, no, don't do it. It causes conflict in the end, and it turns out very nasty. And you lose a lot of money that way too. So I advise to people, if you can, do not go into business with your spouse. That's my personal advice.
There's times when, like, for example, just staying on Gordon Ramsay because I'm just fascinated with this program. But like people in the kitchen, family members, staff members, we shouting at each other. And people in the restaurant dining could hear people shouting at each other.
It's not professional.
It's not a very pleasant dining experience. And then they have to call Gordon Ramsay to come in to find out why people don't want to eat at their restaurant.
Right.
That's sad. But I think that can be a problem though. When you're fighting and
some things look really obvious, but that's because I'm on the outside, right? I'm not part of that business. I don't know those people. The people in the business, the people in the family can't always see clearly what's going on.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I think
So
that.
what would you do, Stacey, if you had someone who just really couldn't see what was going on? Like, say, for example, it's a situation where there's family members that are falling out and they really can't see what the problem is. What would you say to them?
I would definitely tell them to get a neutral party. Get a neutral party to come in and evaluate this situation, and definitely get someone who's a professional.
Yeah.
Get someone who's neutral to both.
Mediation.
Neutral. That's the best way to resolve things, because if you get a family member if you get like a family friend, remember, they're going to be siding with kind of both sides because they're a family friend. They're loyal to maybe one family member over the other. So if you get someone neutral who doesn't know either, you'll get their honest opinion on the situation. And I think that's what people should do. Get someone who's neutral and a professional to help.
So do you think mediation can help in that situation?
Yes, definitely. Just like every business owner should have a coach, a mentor, and a therapist, because it's crucial. Yeah. No, it's very crucial. It is. It's hard to balance a business, personal life. You need someone to kind of set things straight for you, or if you're having a situation, you need a professional person who can kind of guide you in the right direction.
Do you find that some people are resistant to asking for help? It's like they see it as a sign of failure or weakness if they have to admit they're not able to handle a situation, or in over their head, or do you find that some people have difficulty saying, I'm at my wit's end, I don't know what to do, I need help?
People are scared to ask for help. And I go through that a lot. Like, I go to a lot of pop-up events, different things, and I give my flyers out, and a lot of times people will call me after and say, I had so many questions, but I didn't want to ask you in front of everyone because I'm shy, or I don't want to feel like I'm asking a stupid question, and I said, no. See, that's why a lot of people are failing in their business, because they're scared to ask questions, because they feel maybe it's a dumb question. There's no dumb question. If you don't ask, you won't know.
Right. You still won't know. You didn't know before. Now you still don't know because you didn't ask. Yeah.
That's right. And everything is a learning process, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. People are scared to ask. I think that's the basic reason that a lot of people, they're just, I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, like you said, people are afraid to look stupid, or think other people might think they're stupid. She didn't know that. I mean, yeah. That's usually the reason.
Nobody knows everything,
Right.
No. Every day is,
They know everything, but nobody actually knows everything.
No. You can't know everything.
Okay, so we're going to go for a break. And when we come back, I've got some more questions for my guest, Stacey Wilkinson, who's a business coach. Please phone in if you'd like to speak to Stacey or to me. It's 515-605-9325. We'll be right back after this break.
Everything you need, what your body needs, is found in nature. So Zhana Essentials doesn't do it any other way. Zhana Essentials provides your employees and individuals access to over 20,000 nutritional products, and they are shipped direct to your door. Because Zhana Essentials is certified in plant-based healing, we're permitted to offer you the best nutritional supplements on the planet. They're non-GMO and sustainably produced, and we take the guesswork out for you. Let Zhana Essentials help you take control of your health today.
Okay, that one does not seem to be working.
Want me to pull up an ad while you're working? Here, I'll do this one right here.
Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms. All right.
Okay, welcome back, everybody.
All right, we're back.
This is Zhana. This is Zhana. I'm the host of the Success Strategy Show on the first Saturday every month with the Female Solution, Worldwide Radio and TV Network. We're here to help you make 2023 your best year yet. If you have questions or comments, please phone in on 515-605-9325. Then press 1 to speak to me or to speak to my guest. My guest today is Stacey Wilkinson, who's one of the business coaches I interviewed in my new Kindle ebook, Affirmations for Business. If you want to raise finance for your business, Stacey is the person to talk to. And I know you want to raise finance for your business, because who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want more money? So, if you want to raise finance for your business, definitely phone in, ask your questions, listen to Stacey's advice, because she knows her stuff. But Stacey, you said that one of the mistakes that you've seen business owners make is not researching the business, not knowing about the business. Can you give us a couple of examples of where that's happened?
Ooh, I have a lot of examples when it comes to that. Number one, I would say a restaurant. A lot of times people just like the idea of saying, oh, I have a restaurant. A lot of people, they have no culinary background at all. Maybe they just had the money or they got a grant. There's a lot of grants out there. Once you have your business formatted properly, you can get a grant. And a lot of people, they get these grants. They open up a restaurant just to say, I have a restaurant. And they have no clue of what it takes to run a restaurant at all. They just...
Are they people who can cook? Or can they not even cook or hire a chef?
I mean, they might hire a chef, but if you're not sure of the foundation of what qualities a good chef should have, think about it. If you have no idea what qualities to look for in a chef, how do you know you're picking the right chef for your business? You have to do research. You have to know. That's why sometimes a lot of small restaurants or businesses, when it comes to cooking, they're changing chefs frequently or they're changing staff frequently because they have no idea what it takes to run that particular business.
Mm.
You have to do your research. You have to know. Even if you're not from a culinary background, research what it takes to run a business, how to properly hire a chef, how to even properly hire staff, a cashier, a whole business. You have to do your research. You have to know.
Now, aren't there some guidelines on, say, if you have a restaurant or food service business, aren't there some guidelines on if you're cooking, you can't also be on the cash register, like you can't be handling the money and doing the cooking, because I from what I understand, you can't go back and forth, handle money with your hands and then go back in the kitchen and then be cooking and come back and handle money. I mean, from what I understand, that there's some health department guidelines about that. Is that all part of what people have to go through some kind of training in order to even get their license to open a restaurant?
Yes, realistically, you're not supposed to have the person cashier handle any kind of food at all. But a lot of times with small businesses, the cashier is doing everything, and we see it.
Yeah.
But realistically, that's not how it goes. A
Mhm.
cashier is just a cashier. A cashier is not supposed to handle any kind of food at all. Once you're handling money, you're not supposed to handle food, but it happens. They make the drinks. I went in a business one time, and the young man, he was mopping the floor, and then he was going to make my drink. And I said, "Sir, are you going to wash your hands?"
Ooh. Ooh.
And he looked at me
Like,
like,
what are you watching?
I said, "Because I see you were going to make the drink."
You had a problem with that?
And he was just mopping.
Mm. Ew.
You have a problem with you asking him if he's going to wash his hands?
And he was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to wash my hands." I said, "No, you were going."
Since you said it, if you had noticed, no, I wouldn't do it.
He was just mopping the floor.
Yeah, now you're paying attention. Yeah, now that I realize you're paying attention. But I mean, because even in hospitals now, they have signs up saying, "Don't be afraid to ask someone if they've washed their hands." Doctor comes in and examine you. Don't be afraid to ask them, "Have you washed your hands?" I don't think you should have to ask that in the hospital, but still, we should be able to if we want to.
And you serve, even when you go to get to the nail salon, before that person starts your nails, you're both supposed to wash your hands.
Yeah.
My nail person, he knows as soon as he sees me come in the door, he gets up and he washes his hands, because I don't play around with that.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it with other
Are you saying that other people are not insisting that he
service.
wash his hands?
They might
He
not know.
he sees me, he gets up and he washes his hands.
He knows you know, but he knows they may not be paying attention.
Exactly. I'm not worried about other people. I know for me, I'm paying for this service. You're not giving me a free service. I pay for my service. So I let him know, when it's
Absolutely. I'm just thinking other people are also using that service. Maybe they don't know to insist that he washes his hands.
I
COVID made people a lot more aware of that.
Don't be afraid to ask me if I've washed my hands.
You're supposed to. That's your right. As a customer, as a patient, you're supposed to ask, and they're supposed to do it in front of you. They're supposed to oblige. If that's what you ask, they're supposed to. You can get bad infections from stuff like that. People who do lashes, nails, any service like that, the person is supposed to wash their hands before they start a service for you. It has to be.
Of course.
Also, I think what I understood, like especially with the restaurant business, if you have any sit-down space, you have to have a public restroom where people can wash their hands and eat. They're going to be eating there. You can't our restaurant was closed to the public. Well, no, you got chairs here. People are eating. I mean, they have to be able to wash their hands before they eat. They have to be able to do that. That's also part of legal regulations for that.
Yeah, a lot of restaurants do that because they feel like if they get a lot of traffic from the public, they're going to dirty the bathroom, which is, of course, is going to happen. People are coming. That's why you have to hire a service to clean your restrooms for your business, but they're not willing to pay that money.
It's down to the money.
No, it's a business.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a business.
Trying to cut
corners. Basically, I can understand them not wanting to spend the money, but if you don't want to spend the money, don't have a restaurant. I mean, that's what I think anyway.
Because a lot of people just like the concept and the idea of saying, "Oh, I own a restaurant."
Yeah.
That's what they like to do. They just like to tell people, "Oh, I own a restaurant. I own a lounge. I own a bar." And that's it. There's nothing.
Yeah, well, fine as far as it goes. If you own a restaurant, that means you're supposed to be preparing food. I mean, it might sound obvious to you and me, but it means you're going to want customers to come in and eat your food. So that means you need to know a lot about hygiene, about all sorts of things, and you need to know how to cook or how to employ somebody to cook.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. This seems obvious to me, but I've seen people on TV who just thought, let's have a restaurant. So they opened a restaurant and they had no experience and they had no clue. Well, one person might have experience that the other person didn't, and they went into partnership. That does not work out too well.
Yeah. Another thing I've seen, like maybe one person knows how to cook, excellent cook, and so they're the cook, but when you have a crowd, that one person can't, so I've seen restaurants where the food is good, but the service is so slow because they didn't hire and train other people to do the cooking. And so the one person who does a really great job is just overwhelmed if they have any kind of crowd. Like if you have a family come in,
Yeah.
you know, or they have a big party of people, they can't handle it because there's only that one person that's in the kitchen doing everything.
And a lot of times too, to hire a good chef takes money. So to hire a real professional good chef, you got to shell out that money. And most of these business owners are not willing. That's why a lot of times the staff ends up cooking.
So is a lot of problems that people have not really having the operational capital that they need to hire. Like you say, you need to hire a cleaning company. Don't have, you know, your cashier. She got to, you know, also clean the toilet and then sometime go back there and flip burgers and, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a cash thing where people have to have a realistic budget in the beginning of what it really takes to run this business efficiently, and then take the time to raise the money first before they jump out there, even though it might take time. But it's better to do something right the first time than a half do it and kind of hope you earn as you go. Because
that's why
you're sacrificing too many things, like a clean floor.
Then you need a business plan. And I tell anyone, before you start that business, do a business plan. A business plan just helps you forecast your, you know, what you're going to spend for the business. Without a business plan, you would have no idea, because you have to do research in order to do the business plan. And most people, why do I need a business plan? I'm just going to be doing lashes. It's just me. It doesn't matter. You still need to know how much the glue is going to cost for the lashes for a month or a week or a day.
Right.
So you'll know how the money is going to be spent. How much is the lights going to cost in the place you're renting? How much is the rent going to cost? How much is the water bill?
Yeah.
You have to know everything down to the penny. That's why I stress to people, a business plan is very crucial before you even think about a business. You have to do a business plan to forecast, okay, I'm going to need $100,000 to start the business that I want. How am I going to, then you have to think, how am I going to get that money?
Yeah.
But you can't say, I want a restaurant, and you have no clue what capital, what's going to be needed, how you're going to pay for this. How are you even going to source vendors? Where are you getting the vendors from? You have no clue.
Right.
So you have to do.
Well, the thing is, as well, some of the stuff you're going to have to learn as you go.
Yeah.
And, this is why, like, if you're doing cash in hand business, you can still be learning from that. You can be learning from that how to grow your business. You can be learning from that how you can attract customers, how you can have repeat clients, and so forth.
Yes, you have to. You have to learn. Especially advertising is very important for a business.
Yeah.
Business flourishing. Are you advertising? No. Do you go to other business events? Are you partnering up with other businesses to say, well, hey, let's do an event. Let's do this. You have to network. You have to. If no one knows about your business, how is it going to grow?
Now, another thing, say a person's got a one person.
Tell me something, Stacey. Do you? Well, two questions. First one is, do you hold your own business networking events?
Honestly, I have not, but that's something that I'm definitely looking to do in the next couple of months. I'm actually planning to launch my podcast next month, so that's something I'm definitely going to do. And people always ask, hold a business event, you know, hold a training class. I'm really working on that. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, and then the other thing I would really like to know is, do you just advise businesses in the States, or do you advise businesses internationally?
Well, for right now, since I am in New York, I am more proficient, I would say, in New York as far as grants and loans and different programs that are going on within New York. But I also different states, I have a lot of information, but I am trying to go internationally as we speak. I'm learning, you know, how the business structure works in other countries. So I'm also learning.
That's good news. For someone is myself. That's excellent news.
Yeah, I'm learning. But for right now, I'm mostly based in the States. I would say New York. I'm more familiar with a lot of grants, and I'm connected with a lot of resources within New York. So I could definitely help people as far as starting a business if they're in New York.
Now, I have a question about.
Sorry, go on, Nyla.
Well, I have a question about people who start a business, and maybe it's just them. Maybe they're an accountant, a bookkeeper, a lawyer, whatever. But as you grow, you're going to need more people. At what point should a person realize They can't just be a one-person operation. They're going to have to get staff to help it. And I always think in terms of, when you're overwhelmed, you can't answer your mail, you can't answer your calls, maybe it's time to get a secretary or get somebody who can be an assistant.
Right.
And sometimes people hesitate to take that step. But if you don't, you become extremely inefficient because you can't do it all. And what are some signs that people are ready to grow and take part of their earnings and hire someone to help them so that they can be more efficient?
I think honestly, from the beginning, from the thought of a business, you should always have in the back of your mind or always have a backup plan. If I get overwhelmed, how am I going to ask? Am I going to hire a company? Am I going to hire my child to help me out? These are things you have to think about even before the business is even on paper. You have
what
to
skills do they need to
get
have?
overwhelming. How am I going to handle it?
Yeah.
And you have, and because believe me, many times I feel like, look, I'm just going to throw in the towel for everything. Because that's how you feel when everything gets overwhelmed, but you have to put things in place. And time management is very, very, very important. Time management. Because it's something that can just go. Believe me, it can go.
So what happens when you get to that point and you don't have time to hang out with your friends the way you used to? And because that happens, you don't have idle time the way you used to. And they're working 9 to 5s, but you're working a business. And I think either you or Zhana said earlier, you're never off when you're in business because this is your life. So you may not have the 9 to 5 schedule. You might have to keep working till 10 o'clock if a project needs to get done, or you might have to work overnight if you're on deadline, depending on what kind of business you have.
Right.
Is it difficult to maintain friendships with people who maybe aren't in business or don't understand that you don't have idle time the way you may have before when you had a set number of hours because you were on somebody else's clock, but once you left home, you didn't have to be bothered with anything else because it wasn't your responsibility. It's different when it's your business and everything is your responsibility. So how does that affect your social life, who you choose for friends? Maybe you can only have people in business with friends because they understand it.
Personally, I've experienced that, and it can be challenging because I have a 9 to 5. I do my coaching business and I do taxes during the season. So, and I work for 2 different companies doing taxes. So imagine no time, but I make it work. I have to make it work. If it means taking a day off from my 9 to 5 to either work on a project or just to rest, even on the weekends.
Time off, yeah. I'm listening to you talking, I'm thinking, when does this woman ever get to get some time off?
Yeah.
Part of the business plan. Plan it in there. How are you going to take time?
And I guess some times of the year are busier than others. If you're doing taxes, end of the tax year is going to be your busiest time probably, yeah?
Yeah. Between now and April 15th for us in the States, yeah.
Always working. Like I said, I work for 2 different tax companies. So you can imagine I'm always, when I come home in the evening, I'm working from 6 o'clock to 12 a.m. because I job remote. And so, but I make it work. Like I say, if I could take a couple hours here from my 9 to 5, if I could take a day off here, if I could leave early here, if I could rearrange something, but I make it work. You have to make it work, even though you're busy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the business experts that I interviewed for the book, Affirmations for Business, is Jay Hastings, and he's based here in Britain. And I did a training with him, and that's one of the things that he taught us in this basic sort of initial training. As outsourcing is really important. We can outsource everything.
Yeah.
And, he wants to have time to play. He wants to have time to spend with his child and with his partner, and he wants to travel. When he's working very hard, but he also has built into his timetable when he's going to be able to have a break. When he's going to be able to take some time off. Does that make sense to you, Stacey?
Yes, it does. You have to. Me, myself, I'm looking for an assistant right now because I realize now I need the help. I can't thing by myself. I try to, but I realize I'm lacking in certain areas. I want to be able to give 100% to my work. I want to give 100% to my clients, but I can't do everything. So now I realize I need to.
Exactly. Nobody can. Unless you've got 8 arms, it's going to be very difficult. You know, if you're an octopus, you'd be fine.
Right.
If you're human with 2 arms and 1 set of eyes and 1 brain, you're going to need some help.
Yeah. And it's going to affect every relationship that you have, whether it's your personal, if you're married, if you're dating. All of these things affect your business and your work life. So you have to have things in order, because sometimes your partner may feel like, oh, yes, I'm working, but you still have to make time for your partner. You still have to make time for rest. You still have to make time for a little enjoyment. For me, when I go to pop-up shops, that's a little, relaxation, a little enjoyment. So I work around my schedule when I do go to the pop-ups or business events. That's my little relaxation. So, you have to always, you can't work all the time. You can't. And if you can't, get someone to do it.
So how important is it to have, if you are in a personal relationship, how important is it to have your life partner, your spouse, the person that you're involved with, be supportive of your business, because it is going to change your life. It is going to require a huge sacrifice in time. How important is it for them to understand or, be supportive emotionally and realizing that your life is going to change and you are going to have to dedicate some extra time to making this work?
Yeah, you definitely need a partner who's supportive. It's true. It can make or break your business if your partner's not supportive of you. And a lot of times, sometimes people have partners and they're not supportive. You know why? Because they're jealous.
Wow.
They're jealous because they feel like, oh, once you reach a certain level, maybe you're going to forget about me, or you're going to
owe me.
Yeah. You're supportive, and they get it, and they're willing to help you along the way. You need a partner. And if your partner's not supportive, you shouldn't be with them.
Yeah, that's true. But sometimes that's hard. It can be hard to say, well, I need to let go of this relationship.
Yeah. You shouldn't have to choose, though. That's what's bad,
No. If they support you.
Sometimes you do. So we've got about 10 minutes left. I just want to ask you some questions about raising finance for business, Stacey. How exactly do you go about doing that?
Basically,
what steps that someone would need to go through to get some help from you to raise finance?
Okay, basically what I tell people before you start once you start your business, you get your business formation. If it's a LLC, C Corp, partnership, whatever business formation, you have to do what's called starting with vendor accounts, and you have to build your business credit. Business credit is how you get capital. You have to build a business credit. You have to have vendors where you order things from and you pay them back in a 30, 60, 90-day time frame, and that builds your credit. Also, here we have what's called a Dun and Bradstreet number. That's like a credit profile for business. And this is where these vendors report to. So you have to have at least 10 to 15 vendors actively paying them back. Then from there, you can...
They report these transactions, and that builds up your credit. Is that right?
Paying them back on time. And I always tell my clients, do not pay the vendors back due date. Pay it at least 5 to 10 days before the due date. Build up your business credit. Once you get a good business credit score, then you can apply for loans. And I do suggest to people to apply for secured business loans first, because remember, your business is still growing. It's from the baby stage. So you should apply for a lot of secured credit cards, secured business loans. You can also go towards micro lenders, private lenders, and angel investors, where the requirements to get funding from them are a little bit less. And most of them, all you need is a 550 personal credit score.
That's not bad.
And there's grants, there's loans. Every state has different programs. In New York, I think right now it's like 200 and something billion for grants. There's money out there. There's money out there.
What can you get grants for?
You could get grants for if you already have
things like that.
Or if you want startup money for your business, but you have to have a business plan. That's the thing. They want to see.
So, but you're saying that you don't just raise finance for startups, you also raise finance for established businesses.
Yes, definitely. There's money out there for every kind of business. Whether you're 30 years,
What can you get a grant for if you're an existing business?
right, you're going to need capital at any point in the lifespan of your business. Whether you're just beginning, the middle, or to the end, you still need funds. You still need capital.
Okay, so what kind of things can you get a grant for?
You can get a grant for advertising. You can get a grant for payroll. You could get a grant for inventory. You know, there's so many. There's like list of grants you could get out there. There's grants for any and everything, but like I said, you have to have a business plan, and it has to make sense.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Sometimes
Basically, you don't have a track record. If you're not a startup, then how do you don't have a track record? So how do you manage to get grants? Is it just based on the business plan?
right. Sometimes with your business plan, you also have to. Sometimes if you have like maybe collateral, you know, some people might have a computer, a car,
house.
Yeah, but it says if you have a strong business plan and it makes sense, and you have people who may be willing to invest, or you can get maybe like a private investor, an angel investor, a micro lender to kind of help boost, also help you if you're a startup.
So some of the
well, you know, I'm finding this very exciting because it just seems to me there's loads of possibilities out there.
There's money out there. There's money out there, but you just have to follow, you know, certain guidelines. And like I tell people, you have to have a business plan. You have to.
So some of the companies that you can have, you know, credit with vendors that you can work with, like maybe people who print your business cards, or your printing, or people who
just like state
deliveries, you know, things that you do in the course of your business, but you can show that it's a consistent relationship where you're paying them on time.
Yeah, just like, let's say Staples. Staples has a net 30 account where you can buy goods and you pay them back within 30 days. So that's building your business credit with Staples. Every major Lowe's, any major chain, they have a business department.
Yeah.
Business account. Even for BJ's, Costco's, you can have a business account and build your business credit.
Even the phone company, if you get, you know, phones in your business name. Yeah.
You should. I have my phone, internet, and cable in my business name.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm building business credit.
Yes.
You can get anything in your business name. You could get a car in your business name. Your house can be in your business name. And I try to tell people, anything you do, put it in your business name so you can start building the credit. You have cable at home already, put it in your business name. You have a cell phone, it should be a business plan. And you get a better plan with a business account for your cell phone.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
You mean it'll be cheaper, or you get more features, or what do you mean?
You could get sometimes it's a cheaper plan when it's a business plan, and sometimes you could also get more lines.
Yeah.
Like with people, you could get up to like 25 lines, and it could be a mix of phones, tablets, Apple Watches, different devices. So you get a better benefit when you have a business plan. That's what I just tried. I'm sorry, a business account.
Yeah.
And I tell people, yeah, get a business plan. You already have a cell phone, just switch it over to a business plan.
Right. Yeah.
And it can be in a business name.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you said the word business so many times now. I think we understand what you're saying. I think what you're bringing is very, very helpful, very, very beneficial for me. I mean, not just for me, but for anybody who's listening to anybody who's got a business or who wants to have a business can benefit by talking to my guest, Stacey Wilkinson. So if you're listening to this on a recording,
do we have a phone number?
You can add your questions. I can send a question to Stacey. I'm definitely going to want to do some more work with you, Stacey, because you're a great guest. You're really entertaining to listen to. 90 seconds.
If we have a phone number, I can put it on the screen here where people can see. Is there a contact number or website that people can go to?
Sure. They can reach me at my office, 212-847-8255. 8370. And they could also reach me on my social media on Instagram, which is MISS_STACEY78 on Instagram. And in my bio, you could click the link and set up a call with me.
Okay, and that phone number again was 212-847
870.
8470.
Affirmations for Business, brand new Kindle ebook, and she talks more about all this information. And I've also interviewed a couple of business experts as well in that book, Affirmations for Business. So if you want to find out more about what Stacey can offer, and also other people are offering to you and to your business, download Affirmations for Business from Amazon Kindle.
All right, sounds great. Well, thanks so much. We appreciate you.
We're coming to the end, but it's been lovely having you as my guest. Stacey, 10 seconds from talking to you again, and I will be in touch.
All right.
Thanks so much. 212-847-8370. That's right. All right. Call you can need money for your business.
We've come to the end of our show today, but you can hear every show in the archives at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. You can also hear today's show on the Female Solution Facebook page. Go to www.facebook.com/the-female-solution. Leave your comments about today's show. You can always reach me on my website at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. Watch our TV shows, listen to our radio shows, order our books, and be sure to get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussion. And to our global family listening from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, Sheshe, India, Zhana, Japan, Arigato, Korea, Kamsahamnida, Russia, Spasiba, Germany, Danke, Poland, Jean, France, merci, Spain, gracias, Italy, grazie, Egypt, shukran, Ghana, medasi, Nigeria, eshe, South Africa, Nyabonga, Senegal, Geret, Kenya, asante, Israel, toda, Pakistan, shukriya, Afghanistan, Tashakur, Saudi Arabia, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you. And may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.